Director Gambino in the building in La Connect podcast. Let's get it. It's good. How you feeling? How you feeling?
I'm good. Just a little tired right now. I'm Gucci, like just chilling.
I got you. So tell me, man, what made you want to be a videographer, man?
Honestly, it started because I'm from originally like Queensbridge,
Yeah.
so it's like famous projects where like you have Nas is from there, Ron Artest, like all these amazing artists. And when I was a kid, I seen they did a video in the hood, and I was there and I got to see what it was like, and it was cool. And I was like, damn, this is pretty dope. Like, I want to do this. Like, I think I want to do this, but I didn't think much about it. I was just like, I just want to do this. And I saw those cameras, I saw lights, and I was like, no, this is pretty dope. I think I was about maybe like 7 or 8 around that time.
Wow.
So yeah, it wasn't so bad. It was cool. It was a cool time.
And they had a lot of crew, like a lot of people doing.
Yeah, there was there was a lot of people there. They had like those big wardrobes or whatever, and it was like they just blocked off the whole entire street. Like I remember he came through in a red convertible. And I remember he had like, I don't know if it was like his wife at the time or whoever he was with, but they were just riding through the neighborhood. People were screaming, yelling and shit. And I remember as a kid, I wasn't really allowed to go out like that because my neighborhood was pretty dangerous. So my mom would always keep me in. So I remember I sneaked out. I ran to go look at what was going on. I didn't even know much of rap music at that time or anything because I moved there when I was about 5 years old. So like, I didn't really listen to a lot of music, until that day itself. So it was pretty intense.
How long was it? Was it a long shoot or it was something?
It was pretty long because I do remember it may have been like 12 in the afternoon. He was coming through, waving at people, talking to, I guess, people that he knew that were still there, friends and stuff. And I remember I stayed out there until 1, maybe 2 in the morning because they were shooting at River Park. And they had him inside of, like, in the park, there's a building that's abandoned that nobody uses. You hear all these crazy stories about it, but no one really knows, at least for, like, the younger generation at that time, we didn't know what the hell that was. So all of a sudden, I remember they put him in it. There was cameras and, like, lights. And we're talking, like, massive Hollywood-style lights. And I remember just being there watching everything. And I was just like, yo, this has got to be, like, the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I was just, like, amazed by it. And I remember I asked, I got close to one of the, I guess, maybe the director, maybe the DP. I'm not too sure, but I do remember him asking me, he's like, hey, can you hold this for me? And I remember holding like a lens in my hand. And he was like, yo, and I was like, what? I was like, what is, I was like, so that's what you use to shoot videos with? And he was like, yeah. He was like, one day, everyone in the world will be able to afford one and it'll be that cheap. And I was like, oh, all right, cool. Like, all right, I'm a kid, so I don't know. So I'm just like, all right, cool. That's dope, whatever. And then that was it. And then, just the story progressed from there.
Wow. So one of those lenses in those times would be like that expensive? That's why he said
probably. Maybe. I mean, I was more or less trying to look at that camera. I was trying to see what that camera looked like. I was just like really engaged by it. But that's like part of the story though. Like it gets deeper from there. Like years after that. Like it was pretty crazy.
Wow. So that's one of your best like experiences, or what's your most favorite experience that you ever had, like out of everything all the productions that you've been doing in videos?
I think my craziest memory is when I signed to World Star Hip Hop.
Oh,
I think that was probably one of my biggest. That's probably like the biggest memory of my life because I wasn't doing the videos so long to even feel like I don't even know what the word would be. Like, I didn't feel like I deserved it so fast like that because I wasn't doing it for so long. I started shooting videos professionally at like 2014, 15. And I signed to World Star in 2017. And, like they told me why they liked me and why they wanted me to work with them. And I get it. Like, I was shooting a video one day and then the next few hours, the video was already sent to the client.
Wow.
So I was knocking videos out fast, like just keep moving. Like, and, I would look at, I studied a lot of people before I got into like the whole video thing, because I was like, I kind of looked at it as like, this is gonna sound crazy, but I still look at it like this to this day, but I look at this business as a war. So you have to see how everyone is moving, all these camera dudes and what they're doing, how they're doing it, how fast they're doing it, what's their rendering time, like, all that really matters. And at that time, that's kind of like what I would do. So I would find everyone in the city, from the Bronx, Brooklyn, wherever, what they were doing and how fast they were doing it and what they weren't doing. And I was trying to find anything I could to advance myself in any way to be better. So like if he was getting the video done in 4 days, I was getting it the next day.
Wow.
And so I was competing with everyone around me. So I just studied a lot. Didn't do a lot of talking, just watched a lot and, try to see what was going on. So, but I think that's my craziest memory. Like once I was being signed to them, because after that, my first real actual production video that I was on was A Boogie Friend Zone.
Wow.
And I remember being on a part of that project and seeing that production. And then next thing you know, I was working with PNB Rock, and then Young and May, then China Mac, then Uncle Murder, and then Mano. And then I did the Uncle Murder wrap up, and things just started going from there crazy. Like it just started moving fast.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's
crazy. How about your worst experience and how you overcame that experience?
I think my worst experience was being signed to them. Literally, I'm not gonna say the worst experience, but it was a tough experience towards the end of it. Before I decided to like walk out, I think that was pretty tough for me because I saw what it was. I don't know. I think that was what was tough for me. That was probably the toughest thing I've ever had to do in my entire life. Like doing these videos was having to leave a company and like people and relations and stuff like that, because I guess it was just about all this. There's a lot of stuff going on, so I didn't agree with it, and I didn't like how things were being run, and I didn't like how things were being pushed on me, and not, like I didn't like it. So I figured my way. I had to get out of there, and no like hard feelings or anything like that. I appreciate them to the max. I appreciate them for what they've done for me, how they got my name, how they helped me grow, taught me so much of the business. But it was time for that separation. But I think that was the worst and hardest moment of my life. Was that, other than having my son? But that was crazy. That was so crazy.
You got the relationship, but at the end, you got a family to feed. So
it was tough.
Yeah,
it was hard, man. I'll never forget that shit. It was hard. It was just as scary and hard as like having a son for the first time. Like my son's like 3 months old, so like that was such a scary moment for me because I was like, whoa, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to be a dad. And I the only time I ever had that feeling of being worried or nervous was when I was leaving World Star. So that was always like, wow, oh man, tough.
So tell me how you see yourself in 10 years? Like, what's your view?
It's crazy. Somebody was asking me this yesterday. I feel in 10 years, maybe. I say maybe because I have no idea. Like I feel like everything we do changes the outcome of tomorrow or the next day. So like I hope, let me not say hope, but I would love to be more into like maybe movies, maybe more or less short films, maybe get into short films. I would love to win a Moon Man, maybe like director of the year at like BET Awards, like stuff like that. That's really the goal for me. So I do see myself in 10 years doing something like that major, at least.
That's what's up. That's crazy that you said that, because I was watching Back to the Future, and the doc said that. The doc said what you said.
Yeah, that's my favorite movie.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
because everything changes over time. You know what I'm saying? Like everything we do, like this conversation, like changes the outcome of tomorrow or the next day. Someone who watches this changes their paths or whatever. So I'm like a firm believer in that type of stuff. Like I'm a huge believer in that type of like thing, like that life thing. Like every day changes something. So
exactly. So what's the advice you would give for upcoming videographer that's watching right now?
To hold your ground. Hold your ground, don't sell yourself short. You know what I'm saying? And like push as much as you can. Like really push as much as you can. You know what I'm saying? Don't fold, nothing like that. Just keep doing your thing. Like, and you know, like wait it out because this gets tough. Like it gets tough. And I remember like starting out and not getting the videos I wanted or not really being where I wanted to be. And, you know, I realized like it's nobody's fault but yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like don't get out of your head. You know, that's another thing. Like, please get out of your head. Don't be in your head so much. Cause I promise you, like being in your head will only hold you back.
Wow, that's great advice, man. Great.
Yeah, I've
Great
been through
advice.
that. Yeah, I've been through that a few times, man. Got stuck in my own head. Like, it's hard, bro. This business is hard. Yo, I've been doing this for like literally almost 8 years, and it's got me out of my own. I always tell people like, yo, it's got me out of the projects. It's got me out of a lot of things like that I would never thought. You know, like being from there, you would think that like you could get stuck there. Like you really can, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I live in a beautiful home now, like where I don't have to worry about like the pissy hallways. I remember coming home late from a video, you know, like, and you have crackheads or like prostitution, like, or bags of drugs, like in the hallways. Like, you know, I didn't have to worry about like my safety, or I didn't have to worry about all this stuff. So, you know, it's just intense. Like I always tell people like, yo, you could do whatever you want. You know, it's nobody's fault if you feel like you're not going anywhere. It's nobody's fault but your own. You know what I'm saying? You're the only person that can guide you straight forward. It can hold you back. You are fully in control of how your life in this journey is told. Your story is being told by you and nobody else.
Exactly, 100%, man, 100%. So what's the next moves? What's the new projects? What anything you're working on that you want to release? Just a little info so people can know about and get crazy.
I got a few vids coming with Jay Guapo. I got a few things coming with a few other artists in the city that are well known. Other than that, I'm working on my production company, like more or less on the low, trying to like slowly build it up and, you know, figure out the proper way to do it. That's like pretty much it. And like, as you can hear my son going crazy in the shower. Yeah, you know, I'm basically raising my kid and showing him the ropes, and hopefully he either follows in my footsteps or go further than me, man, which is the goal.
That's what's up, man. So I'm gonna have your information so people can look up so they can follow you and all of that, and for the interview.
Yeah, please.
And
this is cool, man. I didn't know that. I was mad excited about this because I love doing this shit. Like it's
that's
awesome.
what's up, man. And me too. I appreciate it. I've seen you around. I've seen your work. You top notch. You highly respected too in the game in New York. I've seen videos of you with Uncle Murder, and you know, I'm excited and honored, you know, to interview you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I'm excited to be here. I love when people get to hear the story. I feel like that you never know what people might be going through right now. May need to hear something that maybe someone encouraging for them. So it's cool.
Exactly. So, man, thanks a lot for this interview.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. This is cool.
And you already know, man, just stay up. We keep connected, if anything, and you already know, man. Thanks a lot.
Got you, man. Yeah, thanks.
All right.
All right.